now. So welcome today to Tamarah's Closet, and I am so excited today. I'm especially excited today as my guest she's not only from France, but she has mastered a talent that I myself dream of doing one day. And so her passion is so near and dear to my heart as well. And she is a woman who, from the time she was a young girl, had a passion for taking pictures. And today she has been awarded 3 gold medal SWPP awards in 2014 for her photography. She's a boudoir photographer, but her talent does not stop there. I've had the pleasure of viewing her portfolio of works just on Facebook and social media, and on her website, which is, by the way, it's www.the-paris-boudoir.com. And her work is just amazing. I wanted you to make sure you got her website in here too, because I do have it written down. And her work is just fun. It's colorful. It's creative. She's great black and white photography as well, and she just has a special zest for catching that moment in the moment. And I just found out today that she also has one of her models with her, Christy, today, so we're going to hear from Christy as well. And so without any more delay, I would like to introduce to you the beautiful and talented Kitty Cohen and her model and friend Christy. So say hello, ladies.
Hi Tamarah. Thank you to introduce us.
Well, I'm so thrilled to have you here today because I have had so much fun promoting you this week. Just looking at all your pictures, it's just amazing to me because I'm so passionate about photography, and so seeing all your beautiful work. But I have to ask you before I get started with the questions. What you won 3 gold medal SWPP awards last year. Tell us what that award is, and gosh, what was going through your mind? I can't even imagine. You must have just been thrilled when you won that. That just has to be amazing.
Yes, that is true, and it was the first year of all my life that I participated in competition, and it's a really big competition because it's all the photographer worldwide, and this is SWPP is in UK, and I participated in. Sent a few pictures of mine, and some got a very high qualified score as well, and 3 got gold medal, and the gold medal was for fashion, for underwater portrait, and another one for nude boudoir. And it's extremely good because it's very big photographer normally get this award, and I was very pleased to get mine, being only not a professional photographer, but being a passionate photographer. And we're planning to do many more this year. And probably I try to get the fellowships there just to see. I like to be recognized in a world of photography. I'm not be able to participate in France because in France you can only be a professional photographer and pay a special rate in a special place, and I don't want to do it. So that is my award. You have behind you. I can see 2 of my award pictures. One is the one in the Jaguar of one of my friends, which is Carla Monaco. She came over a weekend, and it was a 5-minute shot because we're planning to do it like this impromptu in the car, and we won an award. And again, Carla was so kind to swim in a very frozen swimming pool, and we managed to get 1 shot, 1 picture, because we didn't do 2 shots, we just did 1 shot, and with that shot we got the award. So it's very rewarding. And
this is what This is the one in the Jaguar I wanted everybody to see.
Yeah, the Jaguar one is very nice. I like it very much.
And this is a 5-minute shoot.
Yeah, that is my fine. Yes, I do not. I do not planning very much, in a sense. I'm very impromptu. I get very spontaneous and very yeah. That is the second one, and very quick. And this is the second one, and this is she just went in once, and we take one shot, and that's it. I was underwater. I had something around my camera, and I was underwater, and we took that shot. So that's.
Let me show them this, because when I'm talking, there you go. This is the one you did underwater, and this is one of the ones you won the award. And you said you did one shot with this?
Yes, only one. I didn't shoot more than once. So that was one shot, and the picture was done, and then we went off the swimming pool. So that is how Christy can tell you. We just I don't like to have many poses. I have to move quickly, and I see things, and I shoot what I think, and then when I develop, I try to reach what I have seen in my eyes when I take a picture.
Well, that is, I mean, that's why I love your work so much. But I wanted to go back, and we'll get back to your pictures, but I wanted to go back to a little bit of the history, because you had told me a little bit about it, and I thought it was very interesting. You mentioned to me in an email about taking pictures as a little girl, and how, yeah, I wanted you to tell us about how that came about, because you had talked about an uncle that you had that had the same passion. So tell us a little bit about that little girl.
My great uncle was not even my uncle. He was a passionate photographer like me. It was not his profession. And during the war, he was taking pictures when he was prisoner. And when he came back after years, he still had his camera. And I was only child, only grandchild, only niece, because in my family were very few. And and he was very passionate about me. And then he lent me his camera when I was 4 years old, and I could start taking pictures with his camera. And he never complained that to give a camera that had a certain value, because it was a Rolleiflex at the time, and given in my hand. So I always took pictures. And after that, I continued during my later stage. And when I went to the university, I didn't study photography. I was like the Stanford University, mathematics, but we didn't have a lot of time for hobby or for going out. So the only thing, there were two clubs. One club's photography, and one club was the playing bridge. And I chose the photography. And then we started developing the photo ourselves, and with the bath and all, tried to do something totally original, totally different. And I always like very contrasted color picture, color black and white picture with a lot of black and a lot of white. You can see 90% of my work is that.
Well, now, was there someone in your family that was ever in the arts at all? Maybe your parents or something?
No. It's just no. The only artist person was myself, I think. Maybe my great ancestor. I don't know. I think, yes, in a family from my great grandfather family, there was a very famous painter. So maybe come from that. I don't know. I never met them. So he's a famous Italian painter, which is called De Rosa. Is quite famous for his painting. So that was maybe the coming down from that part of a family.
Well, when did you get your actual first real camera?
I never remember not to have one. That wow. Since I'm little, I always remember to have one camera in my hands. So I cannot tell you when I had my first one, or I can tell you when I had my last one. But I always I can always have it one in my hand, and every time or I renew it, or somebody stole it, so I bought a new one. But I just I continue. I'm very when I get used to something, I try to continue with the same. So I'm very fanatic of Canon, and I always use Canon for the time I remember. I don't. It's really. I remember when I was so little that I don't know. I always have a camera in my hand, so I don't. I can tell you. I cannot tell you what it was because I don't remember the brands at that time. But yes.
Well, so you mentioned you were developing pictures at the university, but you didn't really go to the university to study photography.
No. I just did it for passion as well, because I didn't find photographers that were able to develop the picture I wanted to have it. So at the time there were film, okay. So the film, the one they were developing and printing this, they didn't cut it as I want. They didn't give it the contrast as I want. So I learned how to do it. So I was doing it in the kitchen of my mother and sending everybody out to try to do this. So that was one. As I say, I'm only child, so my mother had to suffer all these things, but it was better than nothing.
So you use the kitchen as your dark room? Is that what you were saying?
That's correct. I used the kitchen as my dark room, so nobody could go in when I was developing. Yes, that's right, for hours, because it was take me hours. So this was a little bit frustrating for my dad, but doesn't matter.
Well, now photography's changed so much over the years, and you started with film, and now it's gone to digital. And how was that transitioning from film to digital?
I have in a sense of is easier for me because I can see the result of my picture immediately. Well, before I had to wait until the film was developed, and then I have to start seeing through the I don't know, something to the light what was inside. And now you can download it quickly on the computer, and I love the system. I got married a few years ago with a photographer, which is show me the system of Lightroom and Photoshop, which now I use happily, and I really love it because it's so easy, and I can do what I really want to do. So instead of developing with the water and everything and the liquid as was done before, now is much easier and is much quicker. And then when I take picture, and Christy can witness this, I like to do it almost immediately. Find one that a good one, and because I develop I don't. No one of my picture go out as it's been taken, because I want to do something. Because when you're taking pictures, sometimes you don't have the view of what is. I can see it with my eyes. I know what I want, and I know what I want to achieve and the result when I print it. So that's why it take me sometime an hour for one picture to just do. As there are things that distract me, so I have to take it out, and I have to do some highlighting down, or some little imperfection of the skin out, and that's why. And I love to do it.
So do you think that you get to be more creative in Photoshop than you did back when you were developing film? That you feel like?
I think yes, in a sense, it's easier, but. I was creative even when was I printing on my own, but you know, now you can make errors. Before you couldn't, okay? Before you had to take a picture and ask to be the picture. Now you can make an error and do 2 shots, 3 shots, and then find the one is the best one. When you do film, you had 1 shot, and then, you know, by the time it was okay, I did a lot of shots even at that time, but it was very, very expensive because I had to use a lot of film.
Yeah.
So it was an expensive hobby even there. is much better now. It's easier now. Let's put it so much better. It's easier. It's much easier. And the system that are available in the market are incredible. And then you have so many training available, like Creative Life in USA. They are extremely useful for even I think for professional photographer, but for me that I'm a passionate photographer. I go quite often online to check and to see what I can improve. I have done a lot of this I like to develop my skill, and I like to study a lot to do this. I always done it all my life, so this is something that is more. Yeah. And having a real model has been a dream, because it's especially when you have real model like Christy here, which is a real experimented model, which has tons of gesture, and you don't have to. Yeah, you can say I want this, and she understands immediately what you want, and she's there, and then you take a picture and it's done. It's good. Yes.
Yeah, that is, I know, because back when I was really young and modeling, you had to do the Polaroids.
Yes.
Take the shot, and then they did the same thing when I worked on movie sets. They would do Polaroids of the hair, so that when we came back to the set later, we'd remember how the hair was and everything. So the digital has certainly changed it and made it so much easier and quicker, like you said. But I wanted to take a minute and show a couple of your pictures, and then if you have a couple of what you want to show, because I have to ask this. When I was looking at your through your portfolio on Facebook, let's get this light out of the way. I noticed there were several pictures that had this wolf here.
Yes, yes, that's correct.
I had this made. The people at the Photoshop place said, well, we're all trying to place a bet on whether that dog is real. And I said, well, I think it's real because I've seen it in some other pictures and it was in a different angle. But then the more we looked at it, we weren't sure. Is this a real?
No, it's like, I don't know if you can see, wait, I have to try to see a piece of this. Wait a second. I don't know if you can see this. This is a bear. It's the same as the wolf. So I have a lot of dogs. Sometimes you will see picture with my dogs with the model, but that wolf is a wolf that died in a zoo, like the bear.
So
and I bought a prop.
He's not real.
No, it is real. Was real, but it's not real anymore.
It's taxidermy.
He's stuck. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes. But
is that like a symbol, like a symbolic? Is that like a trademark that you have him in certain pictures? Like you just want, some people.
I love the snow. And I love animals that live in snow. And I cannot have a real wolf, and I cannot have a real bear. So I try to do with taxidermy, okay?
And all the models that come to see Kitty see those animals, and of course they want a shot with them because not a lot of models have shots with them. So we make her take our photo with them too.
Oh, all the time, yeah. And even yesterday we had. Somebody that, as I told you, that Sylvia Gobble, that want to have her picture with the bear, and her picture with the wolf. So, and she's a model that is international known, and was a model of Helmut Newton. So she's not somebody that hasn't never seen the world. But she wants particularly a picture with the wolf and a picture with the bear. So we did that. It was quite fun.
Well, I noticed you had a lot. Now, I couldn't blow them all up, but another one that I really liked. And is this the same model that's in the car in the Jaguar?
Yes, this is Carla. This was a few minutes before the other shot because we want to do a kind of boudoir picture, and that was the beginning of. And then I said, no, really, I don't want to do any boudoir picture. I give you the top hat, and you close the door, and I take the picture of you in the door. And that was she was getting in to do a boudoir picture, and then at the end we did the other. So that was the picture just before the next one, just before the one that won the award. So 1 minute before she was going in.
Wow. So this one was taken right before the one that she won the award, which is
That's correct. Yes, yes, exactly right. It's the same day and few minutes before.
Now I blew this one up just because I love the colors and and I love the mask, everything. The hat, it's just so colorful, and so it caught my eye. But I noticed that you have a lot of great different shots with different hats, and which I'm a big hat lover, and so I just had to show one of these just for the pure beauty of the color in it.
Yeah, this I love hats, and one time in my life I was going very often to races. So I was having hat for races. So now I use the hat for my models. So I kept all my hats and I use it for, that was a hat for, I think, the Arc de Triomphe in Paris that I was wearing. And not with the mask, of course.
Well, I like the mask too. Now, Christy, have you had your picture made with the bear or the dog as well, or?
Yes, I've shot with the wolf and the bear and a Arctic fox, I think, that Kitty had. Yeah, it's so fun. And they all died of natural causes, and she has certificates, so I feel okay shooting with them. I know they weren't murdered or something. So.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great. I love them. I do. I like the pictures. It's sort of like your signature now, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's unique, you know, so not a lot of people have those kind of props. So.
So I have to ask you this: what got you interested in? Because you have you're very diverse. You take pictures of travel, portraits, weddings, nude. What got you interested in nude photography? What was the? I guess
that was the click. I had followed one of these creative course in Creative Life, which was a boudoir photography, and with Krista Meola, and she was having a workshop in USA with Kim Weston. Kim Weston is the grandson of of Weston, which is a famous nude photographer. And I was very intrigued by the fact of having these beautiful bodies, because for me a model is a person, but they can have such fantastic way of setting themselves up. And I want to learn more. So I went 3-day course at Kim, and Kim is an extraordinary person. They live in Carmel, and they become very good friends, and they came even over in Paris to stay with me. And as you know, we had a workshop in Paris where I invited Kim Weston to be one of the master photographer, and then I was me organizing the model, and I really found that having, not all the time, sometimes I feel like doing nude, and sometimes not. I'm not having any problem in nudity, but I have to be an artistic nudity, and I don't want anything that is vulgar, anything that is I'm a woman, and therefore for me, a body has to be respected as a woman, and I have to respect the body of all the other women at the same time. And I don't want to put it in any position that is not a position I will have take when I was young. Okay, not now, forget it, just leave it alone. But I don't want to have anyone that feel uncomfortable. And first of all, when I take picture of models, I do not start to take picture of them. I just talk to them. We had lunch, we had drink, and I want to know more about them and know how they feel, because only at that point I can take picture of them, and I will take the picture as they would like to be seen. Okay, that's what is my goal in taking nude picture. I took nude picture of other people which are not models, that they want to have picture for husbands or for boyfriend, and they at the beginning they came over only to do a boudoir picture with just some lingerie and some provocative agent, okay, a little bit provocative, and at the end they strip down because they say, we're so comfortable with you, yes, you can take our picture nude. I had two gay friends of mine for their engagement. They want me to take their pictures, and they end up in my swimming pool naked, and we took beautiful picture of them naked. I don't have any complex on nudity, and I only see the beauty, and I think no one from model, okay, which is normal more for them, and to normal people that have complex to be taken nude by me. That's what I say. At least this is what they say. So I can only report. And if they want the picture, then they buy it. So or they get it, and then they're really happy. So that means that they are comfortable with.
And I think if you look at Kitty's work, you could see that the nudes are very classy, artistic, and respectful. So even some models that maybe aren't experienced in art nudes, they feel comfortable with Kitty to do those because they know that they're not going to look overtly provocative or, you know, nothing vulgar. Yeah.
Right. No, I think I like the nudes. I went to your website, and you know, I thought it was very classy and very especially like what you just said, how you sit down and get to know the model and meet with them and have lunch with them, a drink with them, because to me that's really powerful, because I know back when I was modeling, I did come across some photographers that I was not as comfortable with as the others, and maybe had they done that little technique that you do, I think it would be nice to know who you're, you know, who's photographing you, and to feel more.
You make them much more comfortable. And then another thing, if you have noticed, all my nude pictures are black and white. There is no nude in color. So that is the only black and white, and nude are only in black and white, because I think is much more soft and is powerful at the same time. I don't know if you see the picture behind me. That one on a wall too, and it is very tough to see it, baby. Wait, we can try to light it up.
Yes, I love that.
That is an American model, which is it was an ex-dancer, and the pose that she put was, I asked her, can you do a candle, and that is called Candle of Light. And she did it, and she's coming over in April for a vacation, and she said, you have to shoot me though. I said, okay, you can come on vacation, and then if we have time, we do 2 or 3, but we do not press anybody to do shooting.
Well, that's a beautiful photograph behind you. I really do like that. So you know, I was just impressed overall that you orchestrated this nude this workshop where you put it together, these new photographers to put together the workshop, and you had Kim Weston come, and then you
yes, I had. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I had I have the Yerbury come too, Faye and Trevor. Trevor is a fourth-generation photographer in Scotland, and Faye is 30 years but married with him, and they are great. Awesome. They're absolutely awesome. I never see any work with their. They're fine, and I think that some of the technique or some of the way that they treat the model came into me, you know, because they are really this kind of people, and they're a friend now. They come in over very often, and when I want to organize this workshop, which it was East meet the West, and it was a lot of work because we didn't have the people that came over were not very were coming from over the world to this workshop. And I have a friend of mine which is director of a beautiful hotel castle nearby, which is lend me for free his castle for having the nude workshop, because it is an hotel, and we had very special rates, and we managed to get 10 participants, 3 models, and 3 masters taking photography. So it was really great. It was absolutely amazing. We're planning to do another workshop with Faye and Trevor soon. So I don't know when, but soon. We are planning because it's a little bit complicated. I had a couple of workshops here in my house with the Carla, the girl there with the hat, with the husband, and we invite a few photographers over. What I do in this case, I've been there for the model, and I make sure that nobody does anything that is inappropriate. They will respect it. And I come there and I say, okay, I'm there. I take some pictures as well, of course, but I'm more to try to say, because 90% of the photographers, they come for nude workshop for men, and I don't want any model to feel uncomfortable. So, and the other, when we were in the workshop in November, it was quite cold, and they want to have a nude model outside. And I say, okay, you ask the model if they want to go outside, fine. If they don't, forget it. You shoot inside. And then the model agreed to go outside. So I say, okay, everybody's in T-shirt. You go out in T-shirt. So everybody was outside taking picture in T-shirt because it's freezing. So they will have realized that they cannot stay out too long because the model is freezing. You know, you have to have respect to these people, this model, because they are women. And somebody doesn't, and they take it out in the cold and in the snow, and you know, and they're freezing, and all the others are with coat, with scarf. They don't know how cold it can be. So
Now, Faye, in the workshop, did she do the hair and makeup as well?
Yes, she's an excellent hairstylist as well as photographer, and she helped me to. We set up. That was my creation. We set up a pose of the 3 graces. So we have 3 models, and she make up and make the hairdo of the 3 models, and then I did the shooting on the 3 models because that was my idea. So the shoot is mine. So yes, okay, doesn't matter. I let the other take the shoot after.
Other than workshops, did you ever, during the course of the years, did you ever assist a photographer just to shorten the learning curve? Did you ever work with a photographer as an assistant, or?
No, I work sometimes with my husband. but not as assistant. I hate to be an assistant to somebody. Sorry.
You have to be equal or higher.
Yeah, I have to be equal or higher. I'm sorry. I don't like to be. I'm a very strong woman, and I do not. I will look. I can go and follow. Yes, I can do, but then I will not be assistant. I will look what they're doing very carefully. And watch out, but then I would not like to go there and help. That is not me. I'm sorry. This is
too submissive.
This submissive role is not my role. I do apologize.
No, I understand. What you like so many different. You do lifestyle photography and nudes and portraits and children and families and couples. Do you just do you carry your camera just everywhere you go? Because
I carry my camera. If I don't have my camera, I have my iPhone, so I can take picture with the iPhone. The iPhone 6 is great. Honestly, it's really good that you can have. They have some application where you can almost take photos as a professional, and when I go for business, I always take one of my camera with me, and if I have time, I go around. And you see some of the picture in London or in Sarajevo is my business trip. So in Brazil was not holiday, it was business trip. So I do take the camera with me, and I take pictures on the street. And this for me are street picture, and I really love it. And I always done it. Since I'm very young, even when I was going on holiday, and I went on holiday in Peru, and I used to sell some of my pictures to a magazine and pay my trip when I was young. So I like to take picture of people living in the street and moving in the street, as well as as models. And the wedding photographer is very peculiar because, as I said to you, my husband Bruno Cohen is a famous photographer here in France, and sometimes he's overbooked in wedding, and so sometimes he asked me, "Do you want to do this wedding?" And I say, "Oh, I don't know. I need to meet the people," and then the people come. They have to come to see me. I'm not going to see them, so they come in my house and meet me, and then I decide if I would like to work with them, because I'm not a normal photographer, and there are things I love to do, and which I love to do picture of couples. If they like me, it's very easy. If they don't like me, that will be shitty pictures. Excuse me the terminology, but they will not be good picture. They will be pose picture. I cannot do any pose picture. I don't do with the model, so why should I do with the people? And I have a lot of invites that are being created, and I asked, and when I take picture of couples, I always invite them to do things differently, so they get very involved, very emotional. I love emotional picture, and that's why you can see some wedding pictures from me. But there are really people that are being chosen, and they become friends of mine after, and they know that I do not like to take a picture of groups, or if I have to take picture of group, they have to be a little bit more original, and they accepted, because they accepted as I am, and that is, otherwise I will not be able to go there and do a normal photographer, boring type of picture is not me. I'm a little bit too creative for boring photography.
Yeah, well, I agree. I saw the wedding pictures that you did do, and they're not boring at all. They're very different and unique, and that's what I like too. So I understand that your resistance to do your typical average picture. But now, do you prefer working with studio lighting, or do you prefer the outdoor lighting?
I prefer 99% of my picture are natural light, I do have a camera and an objective, which is my favorite, my pet objective, which is have a very big aperture, and I always use that, and it's very sensitive, so I can take picture almost in the dark with, and without the need of any artificial lights. That is what I sometimes in very special condition I use some lights, but the lights I use are very peculiar because I like the 1950 cinema light. I have one, and it's the only one I use if I have to use a light. So, which is more yellow, is not white. It's a film light. It's an American 1950 lights. It's very dark behind me, but there is one light behind me, which is the only light I use.
Yeah.
So, otherwise, I do even at nighttime. I don't use lights. I use the natural. I try to find a way I can see some. You see, we are in the dark. You see, we are in the dark. And I can shoot in the dark.
Okay. Well, now, how about teaching? I know you do the workshops. Do you ever bring other aspiring photographers who are wanting to learn? Do you allow them to come into the workshops so that you can?
Of course. Yes, of course. Yes, and then they will always learn because the model that I ask, they come to work. They are so good that they don't need anything else than try to shoot them and try to get the good picture of them. Yeah. And yes, we've done it 2 or 3 times, but it's fun. And there are people that are not very they're not professional people. They're not. There are people they like to hobbyists, yeah. But they like to be able, because they don't have, some people has no facility to get models easy, or they scare, and they prefer to be in an environment with somebody get the model for them. You know, that is their view.
Now, do you get most of your models from agencies or just from word of?
Nothing. And like Christy, we do not work an agency. I just
there's no need.
There's no need. When you have one model, you have all the others. The network in Facebook is very quick.
And models, of course, models talk to each other, and with Kitty's reputation, she has a steady influx of models contacting her directly. They just cut out the third person, the middleman of the agency.
No, I think this is great. This is good to know, because I'm working on getting my camera, and that's always a question of mine. How do you find the models to work with? And
the models find you.
They will. They'll find you.
And then you can come over and we teach you what to do as a photographer.
That's what I was going to say. I would love to come to one of your workshops. I'm putting that on my dream list. That is it's really very quickly. It's very quickly to said and done. Huh? So you can come anytime. Okay. I would love that. But now I want you to tell me about your big dreams, because I know that I've learned that this is a hobby and passion for you. It's not like a career, but you have some really exciting plans with your photography, and Christy is a big part of this, and so I wanted you to tell me.
It is a very big part.
Yeah, tell the viewers about what you've got going on, because it's really exciting.
We have planning to do a book which is called A Day, a Model, which I will take the pictures, and Chrissy will be the model of this, and she will write a story. It's the story of a model that is a self-made model, and in a day, what she's doing in a day. So we have already started the project. we have to, we need some support, financial support to because the photography is fine, the model is not expensive, but the book will be expensive, and then we have to print it.
To print especially.
The print especially, and then we want to have a part of a profit, if ever we manage to arrive to this project, to the Battered Woman. So we're planning to have between 10 and 20% of our profit on a charity for women. So
for
that
battered women.
That is our plan. And Christy is doing an interview with a very big celebrity to show us how it's possible for a model not to pass, even in these days, not to pass to agency, not to have a contract, not to be abused during your work, and to be free to choose and make profit. But this means that you have to work so hard, and this is what we try to say in this book.
Well, that's really wonderful, because Tamarah's Closet, I haven't ever had a chance to tell you about it. It's all about promoting people who have a new talent, or I'm all about promoting people to find their passion and go after their dreams and learn to become an entrepreneur instead of working in the world of having a job that they hate, but find their passion and turn it into a career and learn how to be an entrepreneur. And so, one of my dreams is to have a studio as well where I can help young models. It's interesting to, promote them and also promote. I'm wanting to work with people who are more mature models as well, because my passion is about that you can start your career at any age, that you don't have to be a kid, that you can go after your dreams later.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I love what you're doing.
Pictures, My dream is picture. And even if we can sell the picture and get the book going, if we can get the book going, have people and set up this, and that's why we want to put something in charity, because I think it's important to have a cause and to do something that is rewarding even for other things. But at the same, it will be a lot of work for us to do it. But we're happy to be able to do it, and I said that's why I came to talk to you, because I hope somebody can buy our print, can support us with the book, and so on and so forth.
I think so, because I'm all for it. I like her idea of teaching models that they can bypass the agency and do this on their own. So I'm very supportive of that. That's amazing. I like your idea.
Yeah, I think people are just really hung up on the old myths. I mean, they're myths now. Maybe it was true 20 or 30 years ago that you needed an agency, you needed to be 5'9" or taller and stick thin, or you needed to be 22 or younger. Maybe those things were true once upon a time, but with the advent of the internet and how easy it is to contact clients on your own and just meet photographers on your own without an agency, why bother trying to get yourself into agency standards when you don't need an agency really at all anymore? And what are they going to do? They're going to take 20%, and they're going to try to charge you for comp cards to be represented by them on their board. You need to pay a fine now. Why bother when you don't really need to? You can be an independent model these days, and it's just as easy, if not easier. And I think that doing this book will help a lot of people see that they can reach their dreams without having to go through all of that agency rigmarole. So that's why we want to do it. Of course, it's fun for us, but at the same time, it will help other people live their dreams instead of being stuck in a cubicle office when they're not really happy with that. So this is why we want to do this, and then to be able to give a little bit back to the abused women's shelters and things like that just makes it all the better for us.
Oh, sure. I like that a lot. That's fabulous. Well, I think you're on a wonderful journey, the right track, a wonderful dream, and you got my support, that's for sure.
Yay!
So I'll make sure that when I get my blog together about you, that I'll have links that link to both of you wherever you want things to link to. You know, we'll just stay connected. But I wanted to ask you, Kitty, too, when, just out of curiosity, when in a typical day where you decide you're going to shoot, what comes first, the idea of the shoot, or do you see a model and then get the idea of the shoot by a certain...
I get a model, okay, and then I look at her, we talk, and then it comes the idea. And the idea for me come very quickly and we change very, very fast. To tell you, with Christy last time, we did, I think, 6 or 7 different settings in about, what, an hour and a half? Yeah, an hour and a half, and then we have a lot of pictures, and I get the idea, they're rolling in my mind. I get in my mind, I say, okay, this will work. And even yesterday, I said, oh, go and get the hat. That will work with that. And that will shoot.
Yeah, and I think that the reason that a lot of Kitty's photos are so striking is because she takes the time to get to know the model first and really see who the model is. And once she takes a photo, when she gets the idea and she takes a photo, that comes across inside the photo. So it's not just a boring two-dimensional picture. You actually can see the model as Kitty knows the model. So I think that that's a very good approach that she has.
Yeah, I do too. And I was going to ask you, because there's a photographer here that he's a wonderful photographer here that I've worked with some doing hair and makeup for, and his name is Mac Moss, and he was telling me, because about a year ago I said, I'm thinking about going to photography school, and he said, no, no, no. He said, you don't need to do that.
If you have the eyes, that come natural. There is no need of good camera, bad camera. It's just you see the picture through your eyes. Sometimes when I even drive and look and say, oh damn, I would love to stop and take a picture. And sometimes I do. I crap in the middle of the road and I shut down and I take a picture. And you can ask Henry, because a couple of times he went in accident prone. Because I see something, say, oh, no, I have to stop, I have to stop. That is a picture. I see it, and then it come out. So, and the other day I was walking in the beach, I saw a shell, and I said, oh, the sun is looking at the shell. And I went down, and it's cold, and I got all wet to take the picture of the shell. So, because I saw the shell and said, oh, that is a good picture. My husband was behind me, and I said, what the hell are you doing? I say, I saw a shell. And I said, yeah, okay, there are plenty of shells. No, the shell is the sun backing up. And he didn't believe me, and then he saw the picture and said, oh, yes, you're right. And he's a photographer, you see. So it's not somebody that has an eye. But this is me. I see things, and for me, my eyes is my camera, and my camera are my eyes.
Well, that's what he told me. He said, Tamarah, the best photographers in the world are self-taught. And he told me, he said, you've already got a great eye. He said, now you just got to learn to you got to get a camera and learn to take a good picture. And so I knew, and after I met you too, and you do the same thing Mac did, you know, you teach yourself. And I think it's true that the best photographers are self-taught, just like you.
There is an artistic, if you're not an artist, probably, if you're not creative, it's very difficult. But if you're creative as an artist, then photography can be really easy. There is no, you do makeup. When you do makeup, you see a person and probably you do a makeup for this person and you know what you want to do, apart if you're very forced to do something. But if you're free, you know what you want to do. And do photography is exactly the same. It's just you know what you want to achieve, and you look through a camera instead of your eyes, and that's it. Does it come out? And is that?
I think so. And Tamarah, if you already have the eye, especially if your photographer friend has mentioned you already have the vision, you're a very creative person, sometimes I think it's detrimental for a creative, an artistic person to get too much theory thrown at them and too much technical advice, because it will kill the
creativity. Yeah. It will kill the art. And the art is the most important things. All the great photographers are artists, okay? They're not, and the one that are there and do the diaphragm and looking at the light like this, the light like that. Yes, maybe you do hardcore photography, but they're not artistic. They're just all the same.
Yeah.
And they're all the same photo, and there's 10 still, and there is no originality, and there is no life. That is my view. That is after all, anybody has his own peculiarity. But I think you should do it, and the passion.
So the moral of the story is don't waste your money. Just go out there and do it.
Yeah, and come over, and then we have fun. Come on.
I'm gonna get my camera. I'm gonna come to your workshop. I can't wait because you guys are great. I know I'd love it. And Christy's a beautiful model, and your ideas are just, they excite me because they're they fit in with everything that I'm about too. So I'm excited that we have that connection. And,
Yay!
So it's just, I hate to wrap this up today. Is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap this up? Is there any thing that you left out on your video?
Yes, thank you very much for your time. I think this is what we left it out before we rushed to the end. It was a pleasure to meeting you. I hope your dream come true too, and ours too. So
yes.
That's what we wish to everybody, and thanks to everybody that will follow you. And again, thank you again.
Yeah, well, I'm so honored to have it, and it's a double honor today because I didn't know Christy was going to be here. So I'm honored to have you, Kitty, and Christy in Tamarah's Closet. Your work is just outstanding. To me, it's like over the top with creativity, and that's what attracted me immediately when I saw your work, and that's something that I just greatly admire about your work. I love different because that's the way I like to take pictures, is just something different. And I know that we're going to be seeing you and your work more and more out there on Facebook and everywhere. And I know we're going to be seeing more of both of you as you work towards your dreams. So I hope that you'll both come back to Tamarah's Closet.
Then tell you, we will come back when we get the books, okay?
Yes.
The book, okay?
Yeah. And hopefully I'll see you before that. Hopefully I'll get to come to Paris and
okay, for the launch of a book you come in and we sign it for you, especially for you.
Yeah. And I'll come to a workshop and we'll just, but it'll be fun. But I wish you continued success, and I look forward to seeing more of your work. And I want to give thanks to the viewers again for watching this replay. And I want to make sure you've got Kitty's website at the Paris-Boudoir.com. I hope we're seeing this good. And also follow tamarahscloset.com, and for my upcoming blog, I'm going to do a blog article about Kitty, and I'll have lots of her photographs in there. So that, and hopefully we can get some pictures of Christy in there too.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And so I'm just looking forward. Stay tuned. Next week I've got another exciting guest. It's a beautiful and talented artist who actually is very near and dear to my heart, Adrian Doss. She's local here, and I've known Adrian for years, and so she'll be my next guest coming up next week. So stay tuned for that. And just remember, my advice again is to always find your passion, turn it into a career that you love, and to your success, and rock it. And so take care and have a great day.
Yes, bye.
And I'll see you guys in just a second.